All right, let's just jump right in. If you're a CFO today, you are living with this constant tension, right? On one hand, the business needs you to be this forward-thinking, strategic guide. But on the other, you're just drowning in the day-to-day operational grind. You're being asked to predict the future while you're still stuck recording the past. And that's the core problem we're going to unpack. So, let me just ask you this straight up. Does it ever feel like your finance team is sprinting on a treadmill? You're all working harder and faster than ever, but you're not actually moving forward? If that sounds a little too familiar, well, you are definitely not alone. That exact feeling is pushing the entire industry to a major breaking point. Which, of course, brings us to our first section. We're going to take a hard look at the immense and, let's be honest, totally unsustainable pressures that are just crushing the traditional finance function as we know it. Check out this number, because it really gets to the heart of it all. 70%. That's how many CFOs say their team's massive workload is the single biggest thing stopping them from creating real value. It's not a lack of vision, it's not a lack of ideas, it's a sheer lack of bandwidth.
And why is that workload so insane? Well, it's because a staggering 94% of businesses are bogged down by repetitive, time-sucking manual tasks. Just think about that for a second. Nearly every company is stuck in this cycle of drudgery that really should have been streamlined ages ago. Now, this isn't just about spreadsheets and processes. This is a human problem. More than half, 57% of finance professionals have experienced burnout. And we're not talking about just feeling tired after a long week. This is that deep, chronic exhaustion that has serious consequences for people and for their companies.
And you can see the direct fallout right here in the data. People aren't leaving for a bigger paycheck. They are leaving to get their lives back. Poor work-life balance and burnout together are the top two reasons people quit. That's almost 80% of all turnover right there.
So you've got this burnout crisis pushing your best people out the door, and at the exact same time, there's this massive experience vacuum opening up at the top. An estimated 75% of accountants are at or near retirement age. This is a talent cliff, and the industry is walking right towards it.
And all these things, they just feed on each other. It creates this vicious negative feedback loop. The manual work causes the burnout, which leads to turnover. That makes it impossible to attract new talent, which then puts even more pressure on the team that's left. It's a cycle that just can't last.
But what if you could break that cycle? In our next section, we're going to see how a new force is showing up not just to patch these problems, but to completely redefine what the finance function can be. And that force, of course, is artificial intelligence.
I absolutely love this quote because it frames AI in the perfect way. See, this isn't about replacing people with robots. It's about using AI to handle all the robotic, repetitive tasks that, frankly, humans were never meant to do in the first place. It's about freeing people up to do the work that really matters. And the changes AI brings aren't just theoretical. They are incredibly real. The month-end close goes from weeks of painful manual work to a fully automated consolidation. Reconciliations, they go from tedious line-by-line matching to real-time automated processing. AI literally transforms every core back-office job from manual drudgery into automated efficiency. And the performance gains? They are just off the charts. We're not talking about a 10% improvement here. We're talking about making processes up to 85 times faster, reconciliations up to 100 times faster, and cutting costly reporting errors by 90%. This is a complete game changer.
Okay, so automating the back office is a huge win. But honestly, it's just the beginning. In this next section, we'll see how all of this builds towards the real transformation, the evolution of the finance leader from a simple scorekeeper to a strategic oracle.
This is the entire shift in a nutshell. The traditional scorekeeper, they look backward. They tell the business what has already happened. The AI-powered oracle looks forward, using data to model the future and answer that crucial question: what will happen next and why?
And if you want proof of AI's predictive power, look no further. In the super high-stakes world of finance, AI-led hedge funds nearly tripled the returns of their human-run competitors. This isn't just slightly better forecasting. It's a fundamentally superior ability to see what's coming and act on it.
So what does that predictive power look like in your day-to-day? Well, in the past, running a what-if scenario could take weeks of work. Now, a leader can just ask a complex question, something like, what happens to our cash flow if we lose our biggest client? And get a data-backed answer in minutes. The CFO's role completely changes from being the bottleneck to being the strategic guide who interprets these instant insights.
So the potential is clear, it's huge, but how do you actually get there? In our final section, we're going to lay out a practical, actionable path forward for any finance leader who wants to make this transformation a reality.
It all starts with your people, because the skills that got us to this point are not the skills that will get us to the future. It's no longer enough to be an Excel wizard. You need predictive modeling skills. It's not about executing manual processes, it's about designing automated workflows. Finance professionals have to evolve from doers into designers and advisors.
Next up is that classic build versus buy decision. The framework is actually pretty simple. You buy off-the-shelf solutions for standard processes where speed is what matters most. But for the functions that your secret sauce, your core competitive advantage, that's where you need to build a custom solution that uses your own unique data and expertise.
So, what can you do tomorrow? Here are 3 concrete steps. First, audit your processes. Find the most time-consuming, error-prone tasks. Those are your first targets for automation. Second, assess your team's skills against that future-ready list we just saw. And third, start talking to your peers in the C-suite about why investing in AI for finance isn't just a finance project, it's a strategic investment for the entire company.
I really want to leave you with this powerful statement from NVIDIA's CEO. It just perfectly captures the moment we're in right now. AI itself is not the threat. The real threat is doing nothing. The choice is no longer if you're going to adopt this technology, but how quickly and how effectively you can make it part of what you do.
The tools are here. The path is clear. The opportunity for the CFO to become an absolutely essential strategic co-pilot for the business has never been greater. So the only question left is your organization prepared to lead the way?